Today I'm going to show you my process for redesigning websites. So in the past, a tactic that I've used when I'm looking for client work is I'll find a business that has an outdated website, I'll redesign the website for them, and then I'll send it over to them and say, hey, I'm not sure if you guys were interested in a redesign, but in case you were, I made this for you guys, just let me know what you think. And I've gotten some good client work from it. So I figured I might as well show you my process. Let's get into it. Okay, so usually when I do this, I find a business in my local area to do it for. In this case, I found a company out in LA. They are a real estate brokerage. So as you can see, here's the website. So let's just ask the question, why are we going to redesign this website? Having a website look cool just to look cool doesn't serve a business purpose. However, if we can get the website to look nice and serve an actual business purpose, then we've accomplished a goal. So what I want to do is to be able to showcase their products and services, in this case, their brokerage services, to their clients in a more professional manner. I think it'll help with branding purposes, but also, if people show up to a website like this, it just doesn't look very professional. I probably won't really use anything from this current website. I'll just start completely from scratch. I'll take the logo over and that's about it. I'll take some of the content, the text on the page, but other than that, I'm going to be starting from scratch. All right, so that is the company. That is the first step in my process. The next 3 steps in my process, I'm going to draw a sketch just in my notebook here. I like to use pen and paper. I'm a firm believer in pen and paper, even though I'm a digital marketer. I think drawing and writing things out helps me think through things better than if I were to type it on a keyboard. So I'm going to sketch it out. I'm going to go into Adobe XD and I'm going to actually make the design in XD, and then I'm going to develop it out in Webflow, which is my preferred platform of choice. Okay, so let's get into the sketch here. And yes, I realize I'm not the best drawer in the world, but it's okay. This is just a rough sketch. So what we got going here is we have a header, subtext, and a button. Very basic, but I think it's going to look nice and clean, especially looking at the current website they have. It just needs to be cleaned up, and there needs to be specific sections for specific services. So we're going to have the header on the left side, and then on the right side, we're going to have a picture of a house. Going down here, there's going to be a lot of interactions and animation. I don't usually go crazy with the interactions and the animations and the graphics for these, test websites or mock designs. But in this case, I added a few just because I think it fit really well with the design that I put together. So I'm not going to describe them here for the sketch because it probably wouldn't even make sense. I'll just show you them once I develop it out on Webflow. But on the left side here, we're going to have a couch with a couple chairs, a nice clean look. It's going to say something on the right side like sell your house with us, then a subtext and a button. It's going to scroll down and it's going to change into a header right in this third section area. It's going to be, basically the same header, subtext, button, and then an image on the left side. I want to make sure that we showcase their current listings because that's what people are going to the website for. And right now when people go to the website, they have to they have to click on each individual listings page based on the address, but usually people won't click onto the page just based on an address. They want to see pictures, they want to see prices, they want to see stuff like that shows them what they're clicking into. So I definitely want to showcase their current listings. They're a little bit smaller of a real estate brokerage, so it looks like they're doing 5 to 10 locations at a time. So I'll just showcase 4 of them. I think that'll be a good number, and then we'll have a little bit of a parallax or some sort of graphics behind it. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen there, but I'll see once I put it into Adobe XD. Their current website does not have, it has a place for the agents, but it's on their own separate page. There's nothing on the homepage about them. So I want to make sure that we list out the agents and showcase, what their jobs are. People want to know who runs the business. They want to know about the business, So I'm going to show the agents on the right side here. And then on the left side, I'm not even going to try to describe what's going on there. I'll just show you again when I develop it in Webflow. Down here, we're going to have a contact form. I definitely want that. I put that on almost all my websites. Conversion rates go up when you do it. I think companies are missing out when they don't have a contact form on their homepage. So, I mean, I put it on almost all pages of most of my websites. And then below that, we're going to have a footer area. Very basic. So that is the basic sketch. Now we're going to go into Adobe XD, and we're actually going to put images and, the correct fonts and spacing and all that, and just see how it looks. So let's get into that now. Okay, so rather than having you sit for 10 hours and watch me every step of the way, I'm just going to go through a time lapse of some of the things I did here. So to start out in Adobe XD, how I made this header image was I basically made a 3D model in Blender 3D software. I had a 3D model of a house that I had previously used on one of my previous videos. So basically what I did was I took that model, changed the colors around, put it in a container, and then I took an image, an orthographic view, and I used that as our header image here. Again, it's a basic header hero section, whatever you want to call it, header, subtext, and then a button with a call to action on top. Then what I did was I went back into Blender 3D software and I imported a couch that I found from turbosquid.com. I added some materials, added a couple chairs, and I think that looks really nice. I put it in another container with a white background, moved it into orthographic view, and then took an image of it. And then on the right side, I added just a basic card. There's going to be some interactions, like I said, on the actual published Webflow site, but I'm not going to go into detail on those until I actually show you the developed website. So this is the listing section. I just played around with it, see what looked good. I believe I changed the color a little bit to be tinted more towards the blue rather than purple. But then down here, I'm not going to describe exactly what's going to happen, but it's basically going to be a video section, a couple of videos, and they're going to be on top of each other with an interaction, and then a basic footer and contact form on the bottom. So after I get the basic layout, I'll go through and add any finishing touches to the design, move some things around, see what looks good, see what doesn't look good, and then I bring it into Webflow. So we have all the images and the basic design and fonts all set up. Now it's just a matter of actually developing it out. So I added both 3D model images, and then zoomed. I mean, it's really quick. Webflow, you can build these websites really quickly. This was all done in about a day. Basically, what I want to do is just make a basic layout first. I don't add any interactions, no hover animations, anything like that. Webflow is super cool because you can add interactions based on where your mouse is on the page, based on what you're hovering over, based on how you scroll on the page. It's some really cool stuff you can do. So I usually do all that last, which is what I'm just beginning to get into right now. This card's basically going to move into the next section, and they're kind of going to one's going to disappear and the other's going to appear as the other one disappears. I think it'll look really cool. And then down here, I just played around with this section, added some basic div blocks behind, played around with the colors, played around with the scroll animation, see what looked nice. So here, what I did was I brought these images into Adobe After Effects. Now, this is something I probably could have done with CSS and JavaScript, but I'm not very good with code, so I'm a lot quicker with video, so I just decided to make a couple of videos and put them on top of each other. And I think it turned out pretty well. Webflow is not the best for adding video, but you can make it work with background videos, and I think it looks just fine for what I needed to do on this page. You can also add Lottie animations, which are basically SVG shape layers, and they're basically animated out with math, and then you can export them as JSON files and upload them to your Webflow website, which is what I was going to do with this section, but I ended up not. I just ended up using a PNG image, and that was basically it. So we have a basic Webflow website now. So let's take a look at the finished product. We have nice hero section, very clean, and it's very, it's a different approach to real estate. You know exactly what's going on. You have a nice image behind here. If you want to keep scrolling, you can find your new home with us. Again, very clean. You know exactly what to look at. And then this is one of those interactions I was talking about. So I believe I added a no overflow to both of these sections, and then I added scroll interactions to a large div block that covered both of these sections. So as you scroll, the card's going to go down, and then it's going to turn into this section, which has different text. Looks nice. And then we have a current listings with a nice hover interaction, very basic, but it gets straight to the point. People can find their listings, click onto it, and find more information about them, or they can see more listings. And this was the video section I was talking about. Down here there are 2 videos, one behind and then one here, which I could have done with CSS or JavaScript, but it was quicker to do videos. They're both on 8-second loops. And then we have the agents over here. In theory, you'll be able to click them and go onto the agent pages, but for now it's just the images. And then down here, the contact form and the footer, and that is the website. Okay, now that the website is complete, I can send it over to the client. If you're interested in doing something like this, the email is really important. Most people will take one quick look at an email and then they'll throw it out. The whole idea of this is that we're not just sending an email that says, hey, I'm a web designer, come hire me. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to put ourselves out of that and put ourselves into an own category where we do, premium quality work, and we're showcasing it by sending you this website. You don't need to tell them your backstory, like, I was raised by a single mother and we were out in the woods and I found my first computer and that's where I learned how to web design. You don't need to tell them all that. Just say, hey, I'm a web developer in your area. I found your guys' website. I'm not sure if you guys were thinking about a redesign, but if you were, take a look at this website I just created for you guys. If you are interested, feel free to get in touch with me, and I'd love to help build out the rest of the website. All right, that is all I have. Have an absolutely awesome day. We'll see you later.